Hi, welcome back. So, I think there's been this misconception in my field that we want to blame the mother for somebody's mental illness or eating disorder. We want to say a mom's too controlling, a mom's too neurotic, a family's too dysfunctional. And yes, families can be dysfunctional, but mom, if you're a mom watching this, it's not your fault that your child may have an eating disorder and or have a mental illness. In fact, a lot of the people that I work with and a lot of other people out there dealing with eating disorders and mental health disorder come from really supportive and highly functioning families. It's not just your mama's fault, and I'm going to talk about some of those risk factors for an eating disorder today. There are a lot of reasons and a lot of factors that contribute to eating disorders and other mental health conditions. Again, it's not just that your mom messed you up, and it's not just that your family is dysfunctional. You might be someone who has a pretty supportive and pretty great family, but yet you're struggling with an eating disorder, and you might feel guilty or shame and be saying, but my family is so supportive, why do I feel this way? I can't blame my mom. Well, maybe there are some other things to think about for why you're struggling with an eating disorder or a mental health condition. And I wanted to kind of address some of the risk factors that are associated with an eating disorder. So a risk factor, in case you don't know, doesn't mean that because you have this thing, you're going to get an eating disorder. There is no cause and effect. It simply means that these factors are seen sometimes in people with eating disorders, and these are things that could be a red flag or could be something to look out for to say, hey, maybe we need to get somebody help. So some of the top risk factors for developing an eating disorder are body dissatisfaction. That's number one. Body dissatisfaction. Remember my video from last week about the fitness industry and the wellness industry and how we're contributing to a problem? Body dissatisfaction is a risk factor for developing an eating disorder. Dieting is another risk factor for developing an eating disorder. This belief that you want to achieve this thinness, this ideal body, this ideal thinness. Social pressure for thinness, that's a risk factor for developing symptoms of bulimia. Body dissatisfaction, again, is a risk factor for bulimia. And dieting and fasting are risk factors for developing an eating disorder. There's also biological evidence for developing an eating disorder that, there might be some genetic predisposition, meaning that if you had family members that have an eating disorder or have a mental health condition, that you are maybe more likely to develop one as well. And there is social pressure. Again, let's talk about my video that we did last week about how we are telling people they're not thin enough, they don't look good enough. And social pressure, the number one risk factor, cultural pressures that glorify thinness or muscularity and place value on obtaining the perfect body. Nowhere in here does it say, and this came from the National Eating Disorders Association. So nowhere in there does it say your mom made you sick, your mom caused your eating disorder, your family's crazy and dysfunctional, and that's why you're sick. We don't know maybe why you have an eating disorder, and that's not what's important. What is important is that you can learn to love yourself and love your body and not suffer in this hell of this war inside of yourself. Do I eat? Do I not eat? If I eat, I feel like shit. If I don't eat, I feel like shit. There is a way to get beyond that. And there is lots of help out there. If you want to know more about how to get help, let me know. I can certainly help you find help. As always, comment here, like this video. Again, share this video. There are people out there that need to hear these things. This is a real problem in our community, in our country, and we need to be talking about it. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos are posted all the time. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.